top 10 facts about Bob Ross. My very first time ever checking out Bob Ross. I don't really know anything about him other than the fact that I think he was a painter. He's one of those individuals that I feel like a lot of you guys are telling me to check out from my Miss Rogers reactions. If you've seen those, for those who have been keeping up with me on the channel, look, the rabbit hole keeps getting deeper and deeper, and I'm so curious to find out who this man is. He's got a lovely afro off the jump, but yeah, man, this was going to be interesting, and what better than to start with a Watch Mojo 10 facts. I want to learn about who this man is, man. But yeah, guys, look, speaking of which, guys, I'm doing some bonus content on the Patreon for those guys that aren't aware, posting new movie reactions, album reviews, and sitcom reviews every week. I've got, at the moment, around 50 plus exclusive bits of content on there at the moment. So if you guys are interested in getting that extra dose of nostalgia, as well as a perspective on a lot of these classics that I'm showing you guys on the screen, and I'll definitely recommend checking out the Patreon, linked in the description below. Of course, it'll be great to support the channel, guys, if you love my content. Of course, guys, if you guys are new here, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel so you guys don't miss another one of these bangers from me if you guys love these kinds of videos. And look, of course, if you love these videos, don't forget to like the video so I know you guys want to see more. And let's get these videos pushed in the algorithm. And let me know what other individuals and just things you guys would like me to react to next. But yeah, guys, look, with that being said, let's get straight into this video. Let's go.
He may have been on the quiet side, but this legendary painter led an incredible life. Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
Some great
today,
paintings,
we're counting
by the
down
way.
our picks for the top 10 facts about Bob Ross.
People continually say, I can't draw a straight line. I don't have the talent, Bob, to do what you're doing. That's baloney.
Before we begin, we publish new content
That's
every day,
baloney.
so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest
Some
videos.
80s lingo, man.
For this list, we'll be looking at our favorite facts and anecdotes about TV painter Bob Ross, whose mellow attitude and love of happy little trees turned him into one of the most beloved personalities on
Happy
TV.
little trees.
What would be the first thing you would say to somebody?
He
Probably
loves
just a little landscape, because nobody knows if a tree's incorrect. If you put 3 eyes on there, either you're Picasso or something's wrong.
Number 10.
Okay.
He's an internet sensation. Some younger viewers may have been scratching their heads after seeing Deadpool sporting an afro wig in the first teaser for his second movie. So let's take this opportunity to explain.
What? I haven't even seen this.
Just beat it like it owes you money.
Bob Ross was the host of The Joy of Painting, a PBS series where he taught
Joy of
viewers the
Painting.
joy of his art form with a now legendary mellow attitude and easy charm.
There. And maybe some little water lines right here.
In the years since
Okay.
Ross's death, he's become a bona fide internet phenomenon, with a Twitch stream of the
Really?
show's entire run garnering millions of views in 2015. His show has also had huge success on Netflix, which helped reintroduce him to a new generation.
And
I
that'll just be our
I
little
didn't know
secret.
about this.
And if you tell anyone that that bush is there, I will come to your house and I will cut you.
Number 9. He was inspired by another
Okay, there's so many like people just remaking bits of this content and like innovating it and stuff. And Deadpool in a movie, The Joy of Painting was his show on PBS, and I wonder how long these shows were, because like, is he painting the whole thing or is he just painting parts of it? And these paintings look very like complicated and like intricate, so I'm sure you can't just fit that into like a 20-30 minute episode, right? But yeah, it's like, so far I've got so many questions, but like, yeah, let's just continue, see how it unfolds.
While he was certainly a trailblazer, Ross was actually inspired by a TV painting personality who came before him, German painter Bill Alexander.
Isn't that fantastic? Being on that
Bill
beautiful
Alexander.
sand beach. So let me show you how we would put that on this canvas.
Before
Wow.
Ross rose to TV stardom, Alexander was hosting The Magic of Oil Painting, a PBS show with a very similar style to the series Ross would later create.
See how nice it looks already?
See the
Ross was first
inspiration.
exposed to Alexander and his style of painting and presentation when he was working as a bartender in Alaska. Ross
He was
later
a
adopted much
bartender.
of Alexander's style when he started his own series, while also adding in his own unique persona to the mix.
Beach scene is finished. You like it? I thank you for watching me.
Number 8,
His voice.
he popularized a painting style called wet on wet. One of the great things about watching painters like Ross and Alexander in action
Jesus,
is
really
how you
good.
can watch an entire painting be created, from the first brushstroke to the last,
That's
in just
amazing.
one sitting.
No
Normally,
way.
a painting with oil-based paint requires time and careful layering, but Ross and his teacher used a different method, one known alternately as alla prima, or wet on wet.
Now this is a wet on wet technique, so the first thing we're going to do is get the canvas wet.
This technique involves painting over a wet layer of white paint applied to the canvas in advance.
That assures that the magic
This seems so soothing and
The
calming.
technique requires speed and discipline to get right, but its ability to yield complete paintings in a short
that's
span of
amazing.
time is exactly what drew Ross to the style.
And we'll just sign that rascal.
Number 7. He
Okay, so
almost
that's how he did it. So probably did it quickly because of this wet on wet style painting. But wow, like these pictures are phenomenal so far, and it's like I can imagine there's like a beauty in that because it's like you're taking a blank canvas and bringing it to life, and I can imagine that's something that could resonate with a lot of children because it's like you're so imaginative at that age, and you have all these images in your head. But imagine now you kind of get to see in real time and in the real world images come from nothing and turn into some beautiful pieces of artwork. That's just amazing to see, man. And there's something like very soothing and therapeutic about his vibe right now. I don't know how to explain it.
And we'll just sign that rascal.
Number 7.
That's
He
got a
almost
calming
never painted
voice.
people. Watching his show, Ross seems like one of the friendliest and
That's
most
interesting.
sociable people you could ever hope to meet. But his paintings can tell a different story. Ross's paintings almost never showed any sign of human activity, and
That's
he avoided
interesting.
human figures entirely. An analysis done of the paintings Ross created on The Joy of Painting revealed that only 22% of the finished works included man-made structures, almost always small cabins.
Maybe there's a couple of windows over here.
That is actually very interesting, the psychology behind that.
There's one. Looks like two big eyes looking at you.
Another interesting detail is that these cabins rarely had chimneys, which further minimizes the presence of human activity in Ross's paintings.
Let's put a door right there.
I wonder
easy.
if
As
there's any
friendly as he
deeper
was,
reason behind
Ross much preferred nature to people. Number 6. He loved
that.
animals.
So it's nature to people,
Another piece
right.
of evidence that Ross loved the natural world was his devotion to animals.
He's got real life.
They're just
ducks.
little babies, only a few days old.
mean-
Oh, look at that.
Not
They are
What do
hungry,
you call
too.
those?
Ross was a lifelong animal lover,
Birds.
rescuing injured or displaced woodland creatures as a child and
What?
helping to nurse them back to health.
So
Wow.
ever since I showed him on the program, I just thought I'd show him one more time. He is the cutest little devil. And
so
he lives with
cute.
me, and we have a good time together. Hi.
He continued to raise animals as an adult, and a number of them made special appearances on his series, either joining Ross in the
Wow.
studio or appearing via pre-recorded footage. While they were all pretty adorable, our favorite is definitely Peapod the pocket squirrel, a baby squirrel who would hang out in Ross's shirt pocket.
We
Oh,
call
that
him
is so cute.
Peapod the pocket squirrel, because he would live in your pocket forever.
Peapod made numerous appearances on the show and quickly became an audience favorite. Number 5,
This show
he was
is
missing
so
a finger on one
fascinating.
hand.
He was
One
missing a
small
finger.
detail that many viewers missed was that Ross was missing part of one of the fingers on his left hand, specifically the tip of his left index finger, which was lost during Ross's childhood when he was using a table saw with his father.
And after he
Oh,
goes to
it
sleep,
is,
you
isn't
can
it?
literally just pick him up. Look at that. Looks like he's at the beach, doesn't he?
It's a very easy detail to miss,
Right, I didn't
especially
even
since the
notice.
missing digit was often obscured by the paint palette that Ross would hold in his left hand. However, it is possible to spot the missing digit in a couple of episodes, depending on the camera angle. Number 4.
You see, this is what I be talking about when I'm watching what some of these, like, you guys were getting up to back in the good old days before the internet, man. Some of these adventures you'd be going on and these scars you'd be and the memories you'd be having, because this is what makes me go, how did some of you guys probably had some near-death experiences, like, because from some of the stuff I've heard, and somehow managed to come out unscathed, and probably a few people didn't. But that story, I would have loved to have really hear him go deeper on that story and like what that experience was like, because yeah, man, I guess that just shows the sign of the times, man. Nowadays you go outside, you get a bruise, everybody's concerned, man. Nobody's like trying to get injured like that these days, man, or risking
in a
it.
couple of episodes, depending on the camera angle. Number 4. He would film a whole season in just 2 days.
What?
You'd think that producing a television
prolific.
show takes a whole lot of work, but Ross spent a surprisingly short amount of time on his TV series.
That is surprising.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to Series 31 of The Joy of Painting.
Rather than film a season of The Joy of Painting over the course of a year, Ross would instead film the whole 13-episode season in just a couple of days.
What?
Over the course of a weekend, he'd film each episode in his studio by banging out one painting after another.
In his studio,
Just drop 'em
wow.
in. Drop them.
That's
Don't kill the dark.
dedication.
I know sometimes it gets feeling good.
It's hard to judge just how many paintings Ross produced, especially since he would often create multiples of a given work, but he once estimated that it was around 30,000.
30,000.
Let's get a little sap green.
He's just
Number
so
3.
good.
His
Like, and that's just interesting as well. Like, first of all, where are all these paintings? Like, where did they go? That's what I want to know. After he's done them, does he give it out? And then on top of that, he just seems like he loves drawing nature, and that's so interesting. I wonder what the process is into making one of these episodes. Like, is there a topic behind it? Is it just like, today I'm gonna draw this? Does he base it around the picture that he's gonna draw? Because if you're gonna bang out all these episodes in like 1 or 2 days, or like, you know, a couple of days, like, is there like some structure and planning that goes behind it? Or was he just freeballing it? Like,
Let's get a little sap green.
like, what is the point? Is it
Number
just
3.
to draw?
His hair wasn't really curly, and he hated his iconic perm hairdo. Ross's afro haircut has become an indelible part of his legacy and image, as recognizable as his
that's
blue work
different.
shirts and friendly smile. But Ross wasn't the biggest fan of his do, which he adopted
Really?
as a cost-cutting measure. Before that, Ross's hair was straight. In order to save money on haircuts, Ross had his hair permed, leading
He
to the
permed
iconic
it.
fro. But when his
Right.
business took off, this wasn't as much of a concern. But the look had become so linked with his brand and image that it made more sense to keep the perm,
keep it, right.
even though Ross had grown to dislike his legendary locks over the years.
Really?
Number 2, he was an Air Force drill
gotta be
sergeant
bad for the
with
hair,
a
though.
reputation for yelling.
He was the Air Force.
It's almost
Wait, bro, this guy is an interesting individual. Because a lot of these things just surprise me, man. And it's like, yeah, he does this, but I want to know a bit deeper, like, why he does those things. Like, what?
He was an Air Force drill sergeant with a reputation for yelling. It's almost impossible to
Yelling?
imagine the legendarily mellow painter raising his voice or acting in an angry or abrasive
Right.
manner. But
He
before
seems so
his career
calm.
as a painter took off, Ross made a living as an Air Force drill sergeant. Ross described his time in the Air Force as requiring him to be mean all the time, a demeanor he was
Right.
more than happy to leave behind after he discovered
pictures.
painting while stationed in Alaska.
Him
I
and
spent half my
19.
life in the military, and I used to come home, take off my little soldier hat.
So he's talking about this on the show.
However, his time spent in Alaska wasn't all bad, as the state's sublime landscapes often served as inspirations for his work on the show. Before we unveil our top
Wow.
pick, here are some honorable mentions.
And there's really no limit to what color. Any color will work as long as you use the basic method.
Put some more little bushes right in here.
Wow, look at these
like
paintings.
so. And we'll drop some reflections into the water.
He's just so
Number
good at
1,
that.
he never made
Like,
any
he
money.
makes just paintings like from like you could tell he's like definitely a master at this, because how he's just able to just bring these pictures, these images to life just so quickly as well. It's insane.
Drop some reflections into the water.
Number 1, he never made any money from his show.
What?
You might think that the joy of painting had Ross laughing all the way to the happy little bank, but you'd be wrong. Over his lifetime, Ross never made a penny from his PBS
What?
series, and that's just how he liked it.
And that might
What?
truly be the joy of painting, is the friends that you make.
That's
doing it.
shocking.
As we mentioned before, the show took up very little of Ross's time, and his main source of income was his painting supply business and art classes, which the TV
Okay.
series helped to promote. The only time that his show generated any kind of money was when he donated his paintings to charity, or when PBS would
Right.
auction them off during fundraisers.
So that's what he
Most
did
of
with
these
some of his
paintings are
paintings.
donated to PBS stations across the country. They auction them off, and they make a happy buck with them.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great
Okay.
clips from
So he really be just kind of, it seems like in these episodes he kind of just be talking about his life, and it almost sounds as if this show was more like a side hustle, like, or maybe something that he does just to kind of, blow off steam and stuff. But then to do a whole show to do that kind of stuff, like, I feel like I've got so many more questions from watching this. Like, from what they was said about him, I feel like I was not like, there's so many things that I wouldn't have assumed, like he was like he was in the military and he has to shout all the time. He seems so calming. He didn't get a single penny from these shows, and this show seems to be like quite a popular show. From what I'm aware. Like, and then is it this that he just goes on the shows and he starts talking about the painting and kind of a bit more about who he is? Like, that's just, I would love to get a bit deeper into the rabbit hole. Let me know what you thought about these top 10 facts. Let me know if any of you guys, with some of these you may not have known. Let me know if Bob Ross is someone that resonated with a lot of you guys watching as well. I'd love to know. a bit more about him and how he might have impacted you guys. And yeah, fill me in on some of the things that I might be confused about. Like, what was this show? Like, what did he really get into, the nitty gritty? And definitely let me, what did he really get into, like the nitty gritty stuff on the show, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, definitely let me know what other things you guys would like me to check out as well, if you guys want me to dive a little bit deeper into Bob Ross. I feel like there's a few more questions I want to get the answers to. And yeah, like, because he seemed like an interesting individual, man. I feel like there's so many kind of unexpected facts in here that I just wouldn't, I don't know. I don't even know what I was expecting. But yeah, guys, if there's this point, comment down a pink heart, so I know who my real ones are, who made this point in the video. Shout out to my real ones who always watch all the way through. I see you guys, I see the hearts, I see you guys comment down below. You guys are the realest of the real. The support, doesn't go unnoticed. And yeah, look, don't forget to like the video as always. Like, I know it's easy to forget. It does me a big favor if you get to this point as well and you like the videos. And yeah, look, if you want to see me check out some more iconic individuals of the past, and I got a playlist that you can check out at the end of the video. And yeah, guys, look, with that being said, I've been your boy JayFlex, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.